It's my best friend's birthday, and she wanted a bench for her indoor plants. So I built her one because she's just as obsessed with plants like I am. Now she has more space to buy even more plants. And what's better than that? Do you want one too? Follow me and lass uns anfangen.
There's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand.
I feel like I hit a lotto, since I have a stack of gold sitting in my garage. Well, not literally gold, but it's yellow bars that are just as expensive, or at least it feels like it. As you can tell, I got a premium cut as well. I splurged a little here. After all, it's not just a build for myself, it's a gift for my friend, and she only deserves the best. I started by cutting the pieces to size while using my miter saw, and my handy dandy tool bag keeps my pencil right where I can find it again, since I always seem to lose it. But not anymore. And the best thing about it, that tool bag was less than $10. And since I got so many questions about it, I added a link to my description below the video, so you can buy one too if you like. They even have it in different colors. Question. So I really love my miter saw and I'm really happy with it, but the last one I had a laser attached to it and I seem to miss it. So I was wondering if there is an aftermarket laser for the Bosch miter saw, and if there is it worth it and is it easy to attach? That's like my only complaint about the saw. I really wish it had one. I haven't checked if there's maybe a newer version of the Bosch miter saw that actually comes with the laser now. Let me know if you have any ideas or if you know anything about it. I kinda like the look of those premium cut stamps on the ends of the 2x4s. I wonder what I can build out of them. I'm gonna hold on to it to see if I can come up with a project, something cool in the future. Again, another it has potential piece that I store in my garage. I think I have way too many of those. Here you can see the layout of the bench that I will go with. Did you recognize it? It's actually the same build as the outer table that I built recently, but instead of the 2x6s, I'm using 2x4s, and of course it has different dimensions overall, but the style of the build is the same. It has the 4 legs that are constructed out of each 2x4s, and then the apron for underneath. To clean up the edges of the lumber pieces and cut the apron pieces in half, I'm using my table saw. I set the width of the blade to the fence just a few millimeters less than the lumber pieces thick. Since I don't want to waste any of the lumber, I just want to get rid of the round over edges. And of course, I'm using my recently built and new favorite push stick to do so. Once I had all the pieces cut to size, it was time for some sanding. And of course, let's put on some good music and let's make sanding fun again. I think that should be my new slogan. And that shall be enough sanding. Let's move on to the glue up. Meike, come back. Now it's getting weird. Alright, finally, next up is the glue up. For the glue up, I'm using my clamps and Titebond 3. And yes, I like to use a lot of glue. Some might argue way too much glue, but that's what I do. I'm very frugal with a lot of things, but wood glue isn't one of them. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because I've had a few projects in the past that I did not get an even squeeze out of the glue once I tightened the clamps. And that meant only one thing. I added too little glue. And to avoid this crisis again, I just add too much glue every time. I tighten the clamps evenly and watch the excessive squeeze out of the glue. And then I did the same for the leg pieces. Also, I must say, I really enjoy using my chisel to pop off the dried-on glue of the cement floor. It's a really satisfying thing to do. You should give it a try if you haven't done so. That's maybe also one of those reasons that I'm doing my glue-ups on the floor. I'm sorry, I know, I'm weird like that. Are you seeing what I see? Lots of squeeze out means lots of glue on the cement floor to pop off later. Great minds think alike. You might not be surprised to see my pocket hole jig in action yet again. It's just such a simple way to assemble pieces, and I never had any stability issues with the furniture I built in the past. Just make sure you never drill holes anywhere where someone can see them. It's not a very pleasant look. Always make sure you only drill holes on the underside of your builds, so they are hidden. Once I had all the holes drilled and the glue on the pieces that I had glued up earlier had dried, I took them over to the miter saw to clean them up and cut them to equal sized pieces. I used a stop block to do this. That's the simplest way to get the pieces in equal length, because nobody likes a wobbly table. Repeat the steps for all four legs. Einfach perfekt. Simply perfect. And now you can say you learned something from watching my videos. If it's not the woodworking, it's the German language. You're welcome. Gern geschehen. And then, just like that, it was time to assemble the table. Hold on, it's a bench. So it was time to assemble the bench. I laid all the pieces into place first before I started attaching them with wood glue and screws, because it's never fun to spread wood glue all over the piece and then notice it's just a bit too long, and now you have to figure out how to cut it to the correct size with all the wood glue on it. So dry fit the pieces first, and then glue and screw. Glue and screw, and glue and screw again, until everything is assembled. Once it's all assembled, it was time to place it onto the floor and hope there is no wobble. What a masterpiece! Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! While this bench was built for flowers, who says I can use it as a place to take a quick nap? I mean, I have to test it out to make sure it's sturdy enough, right? So, good enough. Nah, just kidding. I have to keep going. This bench needs some stain. After all, the party is tomorrow and I need the stain to dry. It also needs a finish on top of that. And here are the contenders, so let me explain. The last part about this project is to stain this bench, and there's many ways to go about it. In my last few projects, what I used was the Cabot Honey Teak Outdoor Stain, which looks great to me, but this bench is not for me, it's for my friend. And it does have a little bit of a reddish hue, the colors I've been picking, and she doesn't like that. So she wanted to go with something a little bit more light brown or white. So what I picked for her was the early American color, and I will color wash it in white to make it even more light. And then I will finish the project with a top coat. Before I apply the stain, I like to apply a pre-stain conditioner first. This helps the wood absorb the stain more evenly, so I don't end up with blotchy spots. Let's put on some gloves and start with the pre-stain conditioner. I applied an even coat of the pre-stain conditioner and then let it dry briefly. It's 30 minutes later and the pre-stain has dried. Now I'm just going to quickly sand it with 220 grit sandpaper and then I apply the stain. And yes, I know, I should have used a respirator, but nobody's perfect. I literally sanded for 15 seconds and then I applied the stain. The early American stain has always been one of my favorites. It's not too yellow, it's not too brown, not too light, not too dark. It's a very nice medium. So it can fit into a lot of households. But of course, it was not special enough for my friend, so there was another step after. I wiped off any excess of the stain and then I let it dry. Beautiful, right? And then I went around the corner and saw it. A mistake. Ugh. Verdammt! There is some glue that seeped into the side of the wood that I didn't sand off yet. If this would be the last finish, there's really no good way to hide this. But she wants a whitewash, so I know I can hide it. And I don't have to start from zero with the sanding and the staining process. So let that be our secret. Nobody will ever know. I applied the whitewash with the brush and then let it dry for a little bit before I came back with an old towel and rubbed off any excess. I repeated the same steps on all sides. Make sure you only work in small sections before the paint dries too much and you can't get it off anymore. Talking from experience here. Also, the instructions say so why not just follow those? And just like that, we have a beautiful whitewash stain color bench. I let that dry before I applied the finish. As to the finish, I applied 3 coats of it. Between the coats, I lightly sanded, just with a hand sanding pad and manual labor. And just like that, we are fertig! Wow, another great project in the books. What do you think? Do you like the project? Would you build a bench like that too? Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have not done so, please click the bell button to get notified of new videos. If you can, please join my Patreon. That helps me create more YouTube videos. Thank you for the support and all you do. I love creating more projects every week and I couldn't do it without you. Vielen Dank. See you next Friday. Tschüss und auf Wiedersehen.